Good evening. As I promised, this evening I will talk to you about Satan, also known as the devil and by many other names. For the most part, we do not hear too many sermons being preached from the pulpit, I can't say that, about Satan. And the reason for that is that we usually come to our worship services with the idea of learning more about God. It is not often that we devote our precious time to a study of Satan. But if we do not know who we are up against, and if we're not familiar with his power and devices, then we will not be prepared to face him or his temptations. In 1 Corinthians 14:33, it says, "For God is not the creator of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints." Satan has confused the masses of humanity by creating thousands of false religions. He rejoices at all the religions, confusion, and division that are going on in the world today. How many of you know who that is? I figure the old folks like me will know. That is Albert Einstein. Perhaps he was the most famous scientist that we ever had. He was a genius. His IQ was about 160, maybe more than that. Mr. Einstein was born in Germany, but became a U.S. citizen during World War II because Hitler was going to kill him. While he was in the U.S., he was riding in a train. This is back in the 1940s, maybe 30s. And in those days, when you ride the train, you had your ticket with you, and a conductor will come in the aisle, and he will say, "Tickets, tickets," and everyone will present the ticket to him. He had a little gizmo, he'll punch it, give it back to the passenger. That way he knew that you had a ticket, that you didn't sneak into the train. When he come up to Mr. Einstein, "Tickets, tickets, please." Mr. Einstein got nervous, and he started looking for his ticket, and he couldn't find it. The conductor said, "Mr. Einstein, I know you. I know who you are. Don't worry about the ticket. Forget it." The conductor began to walk towards the aisle again, checking other passengers. Then he looked back. Mr. Einstein was on the floor, on his floor, looking for the ticket. The conductor went back to him and said, "Mr. Einstein, you don't have to do this. I told you, I know you." Mr. Einstein looked up and he said, "I know you know me, and I know who I am, but I don't know where I'm going." Like Mr. Einstein, many in the world today are confused and lost and have no idea where they are going. Was Satan created by God? In Genesis chapter 1, verse 31, it says, "And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good." Since God created Satan, and everything that God created was very good, then we can assume that Satan was very good. Satan was given the choice whether to do good or do evil, just like everybody else. And he chose to do evil. So, what happened? Satan and his followers at some point rebelled against God, and they tried to overthrow him in heaven. It did not work for them, and they were defeated. So, why did Satan think that he could defeat God? Perhaps part of the explanation is that pride blinded Satan to reality. In Revelation chapter 12, verses 7 through 9, we get the whole picture of what happened. Again, Revelation 12, 7, 9. And he says, "And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon. And the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer." The scriptures in Revelation say that Satan and his angels were cast down to the earth. Was the devil once an angel? Many believe, and including me, that the devil was once an angel. I must say that I searched the scriptures and I could not find a single scripture that said that the devil was once an angel. If you remember in Sunday class a couple of weeks ago, we discussed this, but we didn't come to a definite conclusion. So if any one of you that have a better expertise on the Bible than I do, please, if you have found a scripture that confirms that devil is a fallen angel, please let me know. I will appreciate that very much. Okay, so while on earth, Satan and his evil followers suffer and continue to suffer defeat at the hand of righteousness. Satan suffered defeat in his trial of Job. Job chapter 1, verse 12, Luke chapter 4, verse 6. He was defeated by Jesus in the wilderness, Matthew chapter 4, verse 1 through 11. He was also defeated when Christ was resurrected from the dead, Colossians 2, 14 and 15, Hebrews 2, 14 through 16. In Revelation chapter 20, verse 10, we learn that the devil will be cast into the lake of fire and brimstone and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. However, Satan is still very active today. So how does Satan attack us today? Well, Satan has power, but it's limited. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13, we learn that Satan is not allowed to tempt us beyond what we can endure. He has to make sin look good. He has to entice us. He knows that he can bring us down in defeat if he can get us to give in to our desires, our pride, and our vanity. Each one of us must determine in this life as to where we will spend eternity. Jesus gave up his life on that cross and paid in full for our salvation. In John 14, verse 2, Jesus said, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you." Brothers and sisters, the question is, are you prepared today? Tomorrow may be too late. In a moment, we will sing the song of invitation. If you're here this evening and you have a need to strengthen your faith, or if you are currently going through some difficult times in your life, or you may have concern for your spiritual salvation, perhaps you need encouragement or in need of prayers, please respond as we stand and sing the song of